impact the Bay Area, at least at the gas pump. Drivers here are already paying some of the highest prices in the nation. KPIX5's Juliette Goodrich has that part of the story.
You hear the phrase pain at the pump, but really right now it's no exaggeration. In fact, here in Livermore, take a look at these prices. For regular right now, $4.99, almost inching close to $5. Plus is $5.13. Supreme, $5.29. 2 words, sticker shock. Filled up my tank, this little car, the other day, and it was $65. $65. Are you kidding? I was shocked. I was kind of shocked.
We do not see any immediate relief in sight.
Doug Shoup is with AAA. He says California has hit record highs with the average price of gas at $4.74. But the Bay Area continues to climb even higher. And the crisis between Russia and Ukraine could put even more pressure on crude oil prices.
We're hoping that's not going to happen. We're hoping to see some downward pressure on these crude oil prices. We do know that the demand for gasoline, though, is only going to get higher as we get closer to the spring months, then, of course, the summer.
And let's not forget about the return to work. That means for many, it's the return to the road again. You made it sound like it was painless.
It was painless.
Why?
Because it's not coming out of my pocket.
Company pays for it.
Company pays for it. But it is a lot of money.
It is. How much, can I ask?
It's $116 for 22 gallons.
Ouch. While we can't control prices at the pump, we can do some things to maximize our fuel efficiency. AAA says the number one way to do that, keep your vehicle well maintained, including properly inflated tires. Lighten the load of your vehicle. Park in the shade so your AC doesn't have to work so hard, and shop around for cheaper gas prices.
I only come here because it's like slightly less expensive.
Yeah, we just went for a quick vacation, and then now like back to work, back to home.
Back to pay for it all.
Yeah, basically, right?
Here in Northern California, we feel like we have the highest gas prices, but you kind of surprised me with one that you found in Southern California.
Well over $6. And that's the same in Northern California, too.
He says one day at a time, but it's looking like it's going to get even pricier down the road.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
My administration is using every tool at our disposal to protect American businesses and consumers from rising prices at the pump. As I said last week, defending freedom will have cost for us as well, and here at home. We need to be honest about that. But as we do this, I'm going to take robust action to make sure the pain of our sanctions is targeted at the Russian economy, not ours. We're closely monitoring energy supplies for any disruption. We're executing a plan in coordination with major oil-producing consumers and producers toward a collective investment to secure stability in global energy supplies. This will blunt gas prices. I want to limit the pain that the American people are feeling at the gas pump. This is critical to me. In the last few days, I've been in constant contact with European leaders, including with Ukrainian President Zelensky. Vice President Harris met in person with the leaders in Germany over the weekend at the Munich conference, including President Zelensky. At every step, we have shown the United States and our allies and partners are working in unison, which he hasn't been counting on, Mr. Putin. We're united in our support of Ukraine. We are united in our opposition to Russian aggression. And we're united in our resolve to defend our NATO alliance. And we're united in our understanding of the urgency and seriousness of the threat Russia is making to global peace and stability. Yesterday, the world heard clearly the full extent of Vladimir Putin's twisted rewrite of history, going back more than a century, as he waxed eloquently, noting that, well, I'm not going to go into it, but nothing in Putin's lengthy remarks indicate any interest in pursuing real dialogue on European security in the year 2022. He directly attacked Ukraine's right to exist. He indirectly threatened territory formerly held by Russia, including nations that today are thriving democracies and members of NATO. He explicitly threatened war unless his extreme demands were met. And there is no question that Russia is the aggressor. So we're clear-eyed about the challenges we're facing. Nonetheless, there is still time to avert the worst-case scenario that will bring untold suffering to millions of people if they move as suggested. The United States and our allies and partners remain open to diplomacy if it is serious. When all is said and done, we're going to judge Russia by its actions, not its words. And whatever Russia does next, we're ready to respond with unity, clarity, and conviction. We'll probably have more to say about this as it moves on. I'm hoping diplomacy is still available. Thank you all very much.
This is Dabu7. A heads up for folks that are looking forward to building this spring or from here on out. Lumber prices have exploded, and it looks like the people in this side of the business are saying that they're out of just about everything when it comes to the lumber. All the stuff that they need to make stuff happen. They go on to say here that in terms of the futures that were listed in Chicago, they closed at $12.70 per 1,000 board feet the other day. This is on Friday. That's up more than 36% since the beginning of the month. They're saying that this is due to whatever. They've always got an excuse, and this is all staged and planned if you haven't figured it out by now. That's why there's boats still sitting out in the ocean all the way over the horizon, still nothing being done there. We are living in one massive staged event. And you can see back here in 2021, it was somewhere around March, April, where it peaked. I want you to keep this in mind. And it fell off dramatically down to an area that you can afford versus where it's risen back up to now, right here around spring. You can expect this to run back up toward a brand new high before it comes back down. So for anyone out there that's looking at getting lumber, you should treat this like any other stock or any other commodity out there that you're going to purchase. Buy the dip.
Yeah, so everything's going to continue to go through the roof. Gas, food, everything's going to be kicked to the consumer. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Double honors to Elder Tahar and the rest of the elders in the order and the spirit. And shalom to all you sincere listeners. More people are about to lose their damn minds. Okay, because this is this is gonna get very ugly very soon. All right, you see the Dow Jones down. Market sell-off intensifies as Russia-Ukraine tensions escalate. Home Depot stock tumble, cutting more than 220 points. The Dow's top stock of 2021 is off to a rough start. Dow slides and oil spikes as Putin orders troops into Ukraine. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 12. 11. How, you inhabitants of Maktesh. Now, Maktesh is an ancient merchant city, the ancient equivalent of Wall Street. For all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear a silver are cut off, right? Because these people that play in the stock market, they're going to have a horrible next few months. Right along with you regular people who are going to experience record highs in gas, food, everything. You see oil hiking. It's its highest since 2014. Oil rose to its highest since 2014 on Tuesday after Moscow ordered troops into two breakaway regions in eastern Ukraine, tempered by a declaration from Germany's chancellor that the nation would not certify the 11 billion Nord Stream 2 pipeline. And this is really going to affect them Europeans because they rely heavily on Eastern European Russian energy sources. They rely heavily on the gas. So this is just going to get out of control, and you people, you're going to lose your minds. You're already complaining about record highs at the pump, the rising cost of food, but this is just the beginning. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and grab that in Matthew, the 24th chapter. Matthew chapter 24, verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? This is just the beginning. Verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines. There's going to be a sore famine coming to this land. Because a lot of these truckers, they're going to stop working. They're already disenchanted. There's already a convoy supposedly coming within the next week and a half. That's going to further slow the economy. And then on top of that, you have people that's not even politicized in the trucking industry looking at how goddamn high the prices is going to get. They're gonna say, hey man, this is no longer profitable, because a lot of truckers, they work for themselves. Some they work for a company, but a lot of truckers they're like their own independent business. So the juice ain't gonna be worth the squeeze with all the rising prices. See, the one dude, he said he wasn't really tripping because it was a company truck. They footed the bill. But for those whose bills are not getting footed, they're not gonna last for too much longer. They're gonna try to get into some other hustle, which that's going to contribute to this coming famine. This is how the Heavenly Father is gonna have this manifest on earth. And pestilences, and they're already talking about a new strain that appeared, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. This is just the beginning. This is going to get very ugly. 2nd Ezra 16, verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, right? And we're in these beginning stages. And it could take 2 weeks, it could take 3 weeks for people to start losing, like really losing it. Because with the gas prices, $7, $8, $10, these people are already strapped for cash. You got a lot of people that aren't making trips, that aren't going to see people that they want to see because of the expensive gas. Because even before the pandemic, which I did a lesson in November or December of 2019, the statistics came out that roughly half of the American workers was getting paid $18,000 or less per year. That works out to about $1,500. That's not a lot of money, and it's only gotten worse for these people now that the stimuluses ain't coming. The unemployment that's cut. Now we're seeing these people true economic state. It's actually worse than when it was before the pandemic. See, everything was just artificially propped because of all the money that was pumped in to circulation, pursuant to Jeremiah the 51st chapter. That balm for America's pain. But that's long gone. So these people, with the increase in gas prices, a lot of them, they're going to say, man, I'm not even going to work. It's not going to be worth it. It's beautiful, man. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, right? And a lot of people are going to be siphoning gas. You're going to see whole shootouts at these gas pumps very soon. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Right. What's going to be done when these evils are going to come? Well, for Ezra and the rest of the men of the Heavenly Father, all we can do is trust in the living power. And that's why we should be grateful that we're in this faith. Because you can see people are already on edge, and this is going to push people over the edge. But us, we're without care. Why? Because we understand that through us exhibiting our faith by our works, we're going to be protected. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, right? For you to amend your ways. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. That's right, because these people are reprobates. All these things taking place, and they think it's just an economic situation. Oh, it's just because there's these outbreaks of war, but it's going to go away, and then hopefully we'll get better. No, this is happening because you people ain't right, and the Heavenly Father is bringing plagues upon you. 2nd Ezra 15, verse 5. Behold, saith Adawan, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. That's right. So now you people are being recompensed. But because evil men understand not judgment, you're not going to be mindful of these scourges, which these scourges are getting real intense. Aside from these murders, kidnappings, rapings, fires, now we have the inflation getting ready to go through the roof. Because like Peter Schiff pointed out, what Biden's probably going to do is somewhat have it that the gas prices don't get to where they really could get to, but they still gonna go higher. But then by manipulation. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and read what he said. Hold on. Hold on. Bear with me. You know, I be favored in a lot. And you see the futures is up because they want to lock in them oil prices because they know it's about to get astronomically high. Bear with me. Oh, I thought I had favorited it, but let me go ahead and let me just go ahead and look it up real quick. Yep, Peter Schiff. Man, that's Satan. There you go. Right, President Biden promised to protect the U.S. economy from economic sanctions aimed at Russia. That's what he said in the clip that I played. Biden will likely run larger budget deficits to offset the cost of rising energy prices on consumers. Larger deficits will result in higher inflation, increasing prices for other goods. And that's absolutely true. The inflation is only going to get worse. See, everything is going to skyrocket. Why is this? Because of the plagues the Heavenly Father has said He's going to bring upon the earth aforetime for people's wickedness. Bear with me 1 second. I don't want the laptop to die. Let me go ahead and charge up. And I got a few more precepts. And then I'll wrap up. Give me a second, Salakia. 1 second. All right, so back in 2nd Ezra 16, verse 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. Mike Adams and Alex Jones talking about Intel was saying the elite want to cut the power off and blame it on Russia for months. If that shit happened, yeah. Because they keep bringing up the cyber attack, and we know directly Europe is going to be adversely affected by this stopping of the Nord Stream 2. Again, you look up, bear with me, it looked like it's not even charging. That's Satan. Ain't nothing but the devil. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm good now. Salaki, but yeah, because they're going to be directly impacted, and then over here as well, because Russia, that's one of their main exports is the oil, but also gold, silver. See, all these things are gonna skyrocket. I believe lumber as well. Matter of fact, let me see if I can look commodity exports. Let me see if I can look it up. Bam. So the top exports. Yeah, the top exports of Russia are crude petroleum, refined petroleum, petroleum gas, so energy, right? Coal, wheat. Russia exports gold too. Yep, gold was about 5.5 of their total exports. So they export a lot. But guess what? That's going to come to an end. Why? Because of these sanctions. So that's going to cause the price of it to go up. All right, so going back to 2nd Ezra 16, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. What are victuals? Food provisions. That they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? Because people are used to getting food everywhere. Where I'm at, I can exit the house, and within a 5-minute radius, I got at least 50 restaurants that I have a option of going to. There's all these things in the food court: Buffalo Wild Wings, Del Taco, McDonald's. It's a grocery store 5 minutes away. You can get a dollar. You can go to a spot and you can eat from a dollar menu, but that's going away. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's what's happening. The sword, more and more people are getting put to death. More and more sickos are being unleashed upon the people. Sword, famine. A lot of you people going to starve to death, and great confusion. Everybody's going to be in a confused state out here, seeing that the things that they were used to obtaining with a reason, which it was a reasonable price, now it's going to be through the roof. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. That's right. So if you somehow escape the famine, our Esau's gonna have martial law instituted, which, by the way, they just passed that up in Canada. They're essentially under martial law, just right next door. All they liberties are suspended, and the devil Trudeau, he says that they're not going to even though the convoy is broken up, the barricade is broken up. He said they still gonna keep it in place, and if they can, they're gonna have those people's liberties. They're gonna have those people's liberties suspended indefinitely. Brother said my power was cut off in the UK because of Storm Franklin. No water. I couldn't even wash my ass. That really woke me up. These people won't survive what's coming. I agree. I agree, because especially here in America, people are used to their amenities. Now, us as men of the Heavenly Father, because we read the scriptures, we watch these different apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic movies. A lot of us have been homeless, had to sleep in cars, been to food banks. We've experienced a level of suffering, but these people, they have not. So this is going to really hurt them, and that's going to lead to them being more irritated. These people are already very violent, and these people have guns. So this is going to be very bad for weaklings. All right, those of you that are weak in the faith, these people of the world that are unbelievers, they're gonna have a horrible end till they stay here in Babylon the Great. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. Right, we're getting ready to see America in its apocalyptic state. All these different movies brother's been watching, it's looking, speaking as a man that measures the time diligently, it's looking like by the summer, it's going to be like that. At this rate, that's how it looks. But I'm going to go ahead and end here through the Spirit. I pray that the lesson was edifying, exhorting, and comforting. Once again, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Haushai. And Adon Ratazal will be out on these highways and hedges a little later on in the day, in the early evening. Till next time, Adon Ratazal, Shalom. Baby.